It's the final weekend of regular season in EuroNASCAR Pro Rounds 9 and 10, taking place at Circuit Zolder. It's been a dramatic year so far, and this is the last opportunity for everyone to score solid points before the worst two results of their years are dropped ahead of a double points season finale in Croatia at Grobnik Circuit, and certainly there have been mixed fortunes up and down the grid so far this year. It was Nicolo Rocca who would lead us into turn one of the season at Valencia. He would also claim the first win of the season. However, business as usual come race two. Alan Day firmly back at the sharp end, heading into Brands Hatch. Brands Hatch race one would see dramas for Gianmarco Ercoli and victory for Alan Day, though Ercoli would still finish a solid third place. Both Ercoli and Day affected in race two at Brands Hatch. That would allow Alexander Graf to take the first ever win for Speedhouse. PK Car Sports Alan Day back at the sharp end at Vallelunga, and Ercoli chalking up a win as well. On to Most, a always dramatic race at this particular facility in the Czech Republic, and it would be Sebastian Blekemolen claiming a race win in the first of the weekend. Ercoli and Day with two very war-wounded cars scrapping in race two at Most. It would be Alan Day, though, that would claim the win, and also the championship lead heading into Zolder. Not much in it, though, between himself and Alexander Graf. Giorgio Maggi, Martin Dubek, Nicolo Rocca, all still very much in it as well, as are some of the drivers further back, but they need a good result across the two 18-lap races here this weekend at Zolder. Can anyone fell Alan Day? He was not set to be here, but instead he is racing the number 40 car for Speedhouse. He was on a 5-event deal initially with PK Car Sports. He did want to take part here at Zolder, though, so he has made a last-minute deal with the Speedhouse crew and the number 40 car. So Alan Day will be there in unfamiliar colours. Anthony Kumpen is at the wheel of the 24. Vittorio Garelli, though, on pole position for Not Only Motorsport.
The car was fantastic, I have to say. We had an engine problem yesterday in the practice, so overnight the guys did an engine change, and every lap I was improving after a lot of bad luck, in the first few races. It's a good comeback, so let's try to give it up, and one saying, let's go for it.
So Garelli taking the first ever pole position for Not Only Motorsport. He did so in wet conditions on the Saturday morning. It would still be slippery in parts of the circuit as we got racing. Some damp conditions on the main straight off the racing line, but it was definitely slick tyre weather as the 2x2 formation start got going. It was Garelli and Gianmarco Ercoli on the front row of the grid. Alan Day on the 8th row. 6th row for Alexander Graf, so the championship top two well down the order as we get started, and Garelli there not with the best launch. I think just got onto a puddle a little bit there, and that has allowed Gianmarco Ercoli into the race lead in the early going. Liam Hazemans and Giorgio Maggi just getting tagged slightly there was Maggi from Liam Hazemans. Hazemans, who's of course running in EuroNASCAR 2 this weekend as well. Alan Day further back in the pack than he's used to, and that would normally be his regular car. Alongside him, the 11 of Paul van Pollard. Of course, he usually races the 24, but the 24 is running a patriotic Belgian livery in the hands of Anthony Kumpen this weekend. So Alan Day has just overtaken his normal livery, albeit not his normal number, on his way up the order, he hopes. Anthony Kumpen, though, hasn't taken the race start, unfortunately. He was due to be on the second row of the grid, but his car with some issues. He will get out there on the circuit, but I don't think he's going to have any profound effect on this race. He will be several laps down. Gianmarco Ercoli then in the lead of the race. It's been anything but plain sailing so far this year for Ercoli. He and Alan Day got into the wars at the Brands Hatch American Speed Fest, and that led to a retirement for Ercoli. Alan Day with a penalty. Here we ride on board with Patrick Lemarie then, closing in on Vittorio Garelli, who was our pole sitter, now sitting in second place. Good run through the chicane there from Lemarie. Does that give him the momentum he needs over the crest of the hill? I think it might do, but Garelli has wisely taken the inside line for the Villeneuve chicane. Just about staying in second place, but a little bit of a nudge there from Lemarie forced him to cut the chicane. Lemarie meaning business here then, looks to the inside at turn 1 just a few corners later, and Vittorio Garelli under immense pressure. Slight hiccup there for Patrick Lemarie though. Does that allow Giorgio Maggi the opportunity to move up the order? Not quite. Lemarie remains in third place for now. Garelli with a car length or two over Lemarie, who's very, very late on the brakes there. Does he get it stopped for the corner? No, he does not. Through goes quite a few drivers then. Maggi has got through, so has Nicolo Rocca, so has Liam Hazemans. So Lemarie was challenging for second place. He's ended up outside the top 5 there by the looks of it. Gianmarco Ercoli, though, unaffected by the battling further back. He is just driving off into the distance. You may remember at Vallelunga, he ended up running over a piece of stray bodywork, sent his car pitching into the air and damaged his car terminally for that race. He has had a rough run of fortune. If he can get some good results on the board this weekend, it'll do him a great number of favours. The unfamiliar sight of Alan Day then in the number 40 car for Speedhouse. This last-minute deal put together to try and salvage some more championship points ahead of the season finale in Grobnik, Croatia. And right now, it's not really paying dividends. He's still outside the top 10. Liam Hazemans sounds like he might be having a little bit of a hiccup there through that chicane, but still got the power down the main straight. Is he under pressure, though? The answer is yes, because Nicolo Rocca is not far away at all. Patrick Lemarie also there, as is Sebastian Bleekemolen. Oh, and running wide there is Hazemans. Has he lost all 3 of those positions? Yes, he has. That's a huge shame for Liam, who has been a race winner already this year in EuroNASCAR 2. He would have loved to get some podiums on the board in EuroNASCAR Pro. I don't think that opportunity is going to come for him in this race, though. He drops down to 6th, make that 7th place. Bleekemolen then keeping a watching brief as Nicolo Rocca and Patrick Lemarie get a bit too close for comfort. Lemarie ends up taking a very wide line through the chicane, and Hazemans has the opportunity to make up 2 positions in one fell swoop. Has he done so? Both Lemarie and Bleekemolen ended up compromising each other there. And Hazemans and Lemarie getting a little bit too close for comfort there, but Liam Hazemans up into 5th place. So he's almost back to where he was before his mistake at turn 1. He was in 4th place, he's now back up to 5th. Some lap traffic up ahead of them as well, but that won't affect proceedings. Certainly Liam Hazemans has been a revelation this year. He is a championship contender in EuroNASCAR 2. Expect him to focus all energies on EuroNASCAR Pro in 2023. We ride on board with Sebastian Bleekemolen, who goes curb hopping once again. Patrick Lemarie up ahead. You can hear the wind buffering there, of course. Just a window net, no glass, separating him from the elements as they pick up the pace. And look at Liam Hazemans. He's all over the back of Nicolo Rocca, someone who has taken race wins so far this year. Hazemans would love to get back up to 4th place. Be something of a full circle moment for Hazemans if he can retrieve the position he lost in his mistake here at turn 1. But Nicolo Rocca, quite the competition for the young Dutchman. I think Rocca is just about doing enough right now to hold off the 50 car from Hendricks Motorsports. You can see Nicolo going defensive there. Patrick Lemarie leaving the door open for Sebastian Bleekemolen. So Bleekemolen moves himself up to 6th place there at the Jochen Rindt bocht. Into the final chicane they go. The battle for 4th still raging. They've got the 72 car in amongst them there. That is lap traffic from Team Bleekemolen in the form of Thomas Dombrowski. But Hasemans continues to try and hunt down Nicolo Rocca for 4th place. Up ahead, Gianmarco Ercoli is absolutely dominating this race. Well clear of the closest competition. It has been a brilliant race, a textbook race from the Cal Racing driver. The man in pink is the man on the top step of the podium as he crosses the line to take the win ahead of Vittorio Garelli, who scores a great result with 2nd place. A tumultuous season starting to look a little bit brighter with that result. 3rd place for Giorgio Maggi, and just about holding on to 4th place there by the looks of it was Nicolo Rocca. Liam Hasemans having to settle for P5. Victory for Ercoli.
Yeah, very good race. I start very fast and it's important. After the qualifying this morning, I take only the 2nd position, but I'm sure who in the slick with the slick tire, I have very, very good speed, and in the race I show my performance.
There you go. He definitely did show his performance and put himself back potentially into the championship hunt. Strong result, exactly what this young man needed heading into the double point season finale. He's got one more race to tackle though here at Zolder before he can think about that. Here you see some of the runners and riders in the subclasses, but all eyes were on Gianmarco Ercoli as he took the win at Zolder. Can he repeat the feat in race number 2?